Well, Archie, how have you gotten to know your group a little bit? I know it's a little banged up right now, but just early impressions of your group.
Oh man, number one, extremely high football IQs with all of those guys, which I've been thoroughly impressed. And they're just a bunch of tough, hard-nosed players. You know, that's the thing I like. They're infatuated with learning, which is a huge compliment to those guys. And it doesn't take them long to pick things up. You know, we do have a couple of guys banged up, but they're going to get back. They're going to be healthy, and we're going to have a good, solid group to put out there on the field.
How are you trying to get those guys mental reps right now? Like, how do you get them prepared for the
Oh man, just a lot of situational talk, making sure they understand the why and everything we do schematically, and then every opportunity we get for meetings, for additional walkthroughs, things like that, making sure they're taking advantage of those guys. So that way when they are healthy, they're coming back and they're not as mentally far behind as typically they could be.
I know everybody's new to you, but your position group has a new guy, Jared Beatty. What have you seen from him so far?
Oh man, so pleased with JB, and again, he's just like all the other guys. He's a freaking sponge, you know. And he's come in. I think this has been like a breath of new life for him, you know. And there's some qualities he has that I think really bring a lot of value for him in the inside backer room. He plays great on the line of scrimmage. He's a fast learner. He works hard. You know, so if you can give me something like that with a guy to work with, you know, he'll have a chance to help us.
Who are the guys that are getting a lot of reps for you, and is anyone standing out so far?
I mean, it's right now. It's kind of everybody. You know, it's our group isn't very big, and like I say, we do have some guys that are a little bit banged up. But you know, when you take a guy like Dylan Rosiak, who's played so much football for us, he's extremely smart. He's a leader. He's a things feel different when he's out there. You know, so he's done a great job. Ryan Mead has done a tremendous job, and I've just seen his growth from practice 1 to now. You know, Luke Zars and JoJo Hayden, who's a guy who hadn't played much at all, but you can just see the flashes of greatness in him. You know, Malachi Hood, who's injured right now, but, you know, just extremely high football IQ, getting a bunch of reps. You know, Kanina KO. You know, the list just goes on and on and on. You know, Ronan Poynton, who really hadn't played at all, but he's just understanding what I'm trying to teach and how I'm trying to teach it and why I teach it that way. And they're getting that. You know, the thing I try to get the guys to understand is what we're doing, how we're going to go about doing it, and why we do it that way. And when you can get them to understand the how, the what, and the why, everything else just kind of keeps pushing on.
Archie, how do you handle somebody like Dylan Rosiak, where you might be his third position coach in college, and then just trying to get him adapted to, again, like how you said, the why of how I like to do things, and just trying to maybe also ask him what he likes, what makes him comfortable.
Yeah, well, you know, the biggest thing about me from my perspective when it comes to coaching, whether it's Rosie or KO or Malachi Hood or whoever it may be, is trying to figure out what I can do to serve them best from a coaching standpoint. You know, that's the first thing I like to ask all the guys is when it comes to coaching, how you like to be coached. What can I do to it? I'd rather adjust to them than them adjust to me. You know, that's the biggest approach I take. Just like, you know, when we have exit meetings at the end of the year, at the end of the spring, the first thing I'll ask them before I start critiquing them, the first thing I'll ask the players is, what can I have done or what can I do for you better? You know, and then when I get that knowledge, then it kind of helps me understand the best way to approach how I coach each guy individually.
What's been your learning experience, whether it's a scheme or just your roster? Like, what's that been like so far for you this spring?
You know, just it's a little bit of everything. You know, what we do schematically, I think is really good. It's different from things I've been a part of in the past. You know, but I understand, again, what we're doing, why we're doing it that way, and it's been really good. We got some guys that, in my room specifically, that fit what we do really, really well. That's why they've been able to have some success. And then just continuing to be like a sponge when it comes to Coach Henry, when it comes to Coach B, and just understanding all of the intricacies of how we do things from a program standpoint. You know, and you know, we have a phenomenal leader. You know, when you look at our program, Coach Henry does an amazing job leading our defense. And so if you just open your eyes and watch and open your ears and listen, you can pick up really, really quickly on how things are supposed to go.